for a building permit.
So
I think Jason can give us more insight on this. I mean, and whether he can just be on the phone.
I'm good. I think a 1 week is not gonna make any difference.
I don't think it is either, but it gives us a little more.
Well, after he's done, I wanna say a few words, but, you mean you can go home right now and bring up and show us the plumbing and electrical and everything to absolutely
I have a
say
drawing to put in front of an engineer.
you have, but the engineer hasn't had it yet?
Hasn't completed it, no.
It
It's gotta
started
be
it.
drafted out, fully.
That's why I think Jason has been through this process, that maybe he can give us a little more. I mean, he is our commercial
Yeah,
inspector.
when I initially filled out my first paperwork and turned it into Sarah, he called me and I put on there, my number, reach out to me. And he basically told me, he's like, oh, you're not even close to having this accepted. And I said, I understand that, but this is like my initial contact with you. I need to know what exactly you need for me to put in front of you to achieve a permit.
Right, and he's very easy
And
to
he
work with to work
Wrote it all
through
out,
that.
what I needed, and that's what
He'll
I'm
work with
trying
you
to.
step by step, so.
So back in 9/10 of 18, did you sit down with Jason and talk about your building plans then?
I bought the lot. Oh, when did I buy the lot? September? Yeah, I bought my lot in September. And then 18, I had gone through the Dan's Upholstery building, the Morrison's building. At that time, the laundromat was even for sale before Dylan Book bought it. I even considered that.
We've got a new council here, and I guess you've all hopefully had time to look at this, but this has been going on since 9th month 2017, when he got his first notice of illegal business. I didn't know about this. One of his neighbors called me and said, there's a business going on. Well, then he had inspections done and.
Couldn't have been any of my direct neighbors.
I was gonna say,
'Cause they all
I
really
know,
work.
Well, back then, I don't know, well, just they said the neighbors.
Sure.
But anyway, the direction of the council on 9/10/18 was the council instructed Andy to work with Jason on commercial zoning administrator and Vista and Kim on his building plans. That never happened.
So is there, quick question, this might be, is there any situation in town now where somebody has received permission to run a business out of their home?
yep,
And that's what we're gonna discuss later, which the Board of Adjustment gave them permission. But Sarah, I do believe you said you checked in and absolutely you can't run an automobile paint in town. You had-
I don't have the city code memorized.
Yeah, but you told me that. But-
You can, Mr. Mayor,
Yeah,
you can with permission from the Board of Adjustments. I believe, one of the meetings I was at before I got on the council, you had Andy up there and we were talking and I, had asked him at that time, had he ever contacted the Board of Adjustments? And he said he had not, I believe was the answer.
okay.
But it is specifically in our ordinances that automotive repair and paint is only allowed by Board of Adjustments. Special use permits, it seems like they get handed out like candy.
That's what I agree.
And it's almost like, why do we even have zoning for certain stuff? If we're gonna do that continually, it just seems it would be nice to have our ships kind of sailing in the same direction on a few things. But yeah, it is in the ordinance that it can be done by exception of Board of Adjustments. The one thing is, 6 months ago, we sat in a meeting and I thought we all very clearly pointed out that 6 months was it. It's definitely up to the will of the council here, but I tried to make it as specific and a motion that 6 months, and Andy understood 6 months is it. So, you have that too, so if if we're gonna have that kind of a motion, not abide by it, why would we even make any more motions on stuff like that?
I think,
Whatever, that's my 2 cents.
I think James is alluding to that too. I mean, this isn't the only business operating residentially.
And I'm
I
not,
think that's a separate
That's a separate-
conversation that we need to have, and I think maybe next week might be,
Yeah, and I think we're gonna talk a little bit about one of those tonight, actually.
Tonight,
but it might be something like Christina's saying, if we move to next week, maybe that's something we need to talk about again, you know, and bring that benefit.
But I-
Christina says she wants to talk about that because a business was approved to run. And I said, I still think the council ought to have approval, but there again, would you be happy to have somebody paint cars right next to your house, Dave? In a brand new addition?
I get this, I
I
understand,
completely get it, I'm just asking for 1 week,
One way.
and we can talk and have Jason, so that way we can ask Jason some questions, because I'm telling you, he will work with you step by step by step. I just went through a building permit with him, and he needed a site plan, and I didn't quite understand, and he walked me right through it. So he's very knowledgeable, he'll be able to tell us how far Andy's in through the thing and answer, I think, a lot of questions. So,
I had people tell me though, this is setting a precedence year after year
Well,
after
it
year.
is, but I-
Different council people
just asking
get
for
an
1 week.
extension, one more, I can't get it done. And the next person can say, no, I want the 5-year Andy Forrest treatment.
I just want 1 week.
that's not, I'm saying that out.
It is, Andy, because the first meeting you hung your head, I know I should never put that in. That's your exact word.
People in this town go through, do you even? This is a low income town. Tell me that I'm the type of business that you don't want. Hitting right there that you're letting all the other ones run, but just because I picked it, should I change it to Central Iowa Plumbing, then I'm okay?
Can we clarify something here? When you first got your infraction, was it because of your some dumpster issue?
There was an issue with
Yeah.
city trash.
And that's where this kind of stemmed from, and
Yeah.
now we know how many cars are coming and going from Andy's house. I mean, I think
I'm not
it's a little
against-
over the top.
I get along great with all.
Like I
the
said, I'm
neighbors.
asking for a week,
Yeah.
talk to Jason,
Okay,
let's
let's have a motion to,
go from there and
next
just
week.
kind of see. I think somebody has a question.
Can I make a remark on his behalf for a second? I don't know him. This is my first meeting here ever. But it would be no different than a daycare running out of their home, as long as they're following the proper disposal codes and the proper procedures for, speed limits, things of that nature. He has a lot of people coming and going. As long as there's not like blocking of roads and things of that nature, it would be no different than a daycare out of somebody's home.
The
So-
problem we have here is in our code, it specifically says auto body.
Right,
So
but
that's the
there's
first.
also procedures you have to go about to have a daycare. You have to be approved by the state, you have to have all those approvals. So as long as he follows those approvals, I don't see why we would be any different than a daycare being run out of a
But
home.
we can't make those approvals,
So-
that's a board of adjustment.
Daycares have federal exemption.
Right, but the thing is, has he met that need, that code, that type of thing, would be the only thing I would say to look into. I moved here 4 years ago, we were actually from Des Moines, so it's crazy in Des Moines. Now, I prefer it out here, but to stop someone from making an income and a living to continue their family just seems kind of crazy when we could assist them in getting the proper channels instead of limiting their abilities. Who brings in business? How many of these customers maybe stop at Ruby's, stop at Johnny's, McDonald's, Casey's? They get gas here on the way here, on the way home, things of that nature. That is bringing an income here. His business brings an income also. So something else to think about is, he brings traffic. So if we can assist
Sales tax.
him and help him in getting the stuff to even just stay where he's at until he can continue with the building. I mean, I think that would be more beneficial for not just him, but the city also, because, it's been going on for a while, but that also means his business has been going on for that long too. So that might be something to
And take time
consider.
to read the comprehensive plan
Right,
that we do have in the city.
right.
And we have proper zoning for different areas.
Okay, Ash, I'd like to make a motion just to move it to
Yes,
next week.
Just a second.
Yep.
Yes,
Call the
please.
vote. Okay, I just wanted to point out too, you know, that there's been another business that was shut down very early when it started up. I believe it was Tyson Greenwald.
Right,
He started the business and it was shut down immediately.
right.
And
Where's he at?
not that this makes this any better, trust me, I don't want to do this. But specifically, I remember at that meeting, you know, it was like, we've got to have some closure on this at some point, you know, because we could just keep going for, you know, I know it's just another 7 days or, you know, and then now we're going to go for another 3 months or something like that. So whatever the will of the council is, you know, so be it. But, you know, this is, I thought it was kind of laid out 6 months ago pretty clearly. So maybe it wasn't, I don't know.
Okay, Christina wants to make a motion, but
I just wanna make it, to move it to next
to
week.
move it forward, but can you, Andy, make sure that at least Jason has copies of the plumbing, electrical and all that so we can see that stuff is moving?
Yeah, I could give him sketches, but he
Sketches.
doesn't want to look at sketches. He wants to look at engineer drawings. He wants to see a nice drafted out,
Yeah.
everything with a stamp of an engineer at the bottom.
So you gonna make the motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion just to move it to next week and see if we can get Jason on the phone to answer questions, and then
Okay, just what the process is.
we can. When is your deadline?
What,
Have we passed the 6
Yep.
months, the actual date?
it's the 14th.
Okay.
Give engineers line, like, do engineers have your plans, like, so you could even give Jason the
So
name of the engineers?
The building, through Midwest Manufacturing, they do all their own stuff, but I paid them in advance before I bought the building package. So, and I should get those anytime they're FedExing, because they're what are they, 11 by 17, you know, building pack, they're not on standard, you know, paper.
Would it help if you brought like some sort of letter of representation or whatever, like?
From them.
From them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, throughout this whole process, we're at 5 years. You're willing to wait out businesses that are grandfathered in. You're not. I'm coming up here and I'm telling you specifically. I don't even put my address on my business cards, specifically because I don't want to work out of my shop at home because I'm out of space. It doesn't work. All that stuff. Like I've told this time and time again of what my plans are.
So there's a motion to wait till next meeting. Is there a second then?
I'll second.
James second. Okay, so how do you vote?
And-
Patrick?
Please make sure Jason's on the phone. Make that clear that Jason's
Yeah.
either here or on the phone.
Yes.
Patrick?
No.
Dolly?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Kaba?
No,
Renslow?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are at D, yeah, it's on E.
And that's up again.
What is this?
Welcome back.
So, okay, E is a procurement policy. It's for the, basically receiving federal financial funding.
We have one already, and this is just an amendment to match what was the state very well and try to add a few words that they would add to the one that we have.
So Tammy Gritman had provided all the information to me. Basically, it was just copy and paste and put it in. And so which I had done, sent it back to her, she approved of it, and this is for receiving the grants.
question, real quick question here. I don't know what the rest of the council feels. Is this anything that needs to be reviewed by our city attorney? Because, I understand the person that's Department of Homeland Security, is that correct?
Yes, that was her specific office.
And not dissing another government agency, but, you know, is this something we should have them at least look at prior to us accepting, or, you know, like I said, I don't know what the rest of the council feels like on it. Do we just want to take their word that that's okay? Hello?
Yeah, we hear him, Mike.
I don't have an answer to that, I don't know if we need to, or if we need to even inquire about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we could have any government agency say, hey, you have to put this in here. And again, I'm not trying to be conspiracy theorist or anything, but they could tell us to put something in. Do just something you need checked out. We could say, hey, we'll approve it pending, sign off with our city attorney.
I don't care. It's not gonna take them that long to read through it.
I mean, it just kind of covers us. We say, hey, city attorney said it was okay, then it's their liability instead of just us doing it, so. I don't know how you guys feel about it. So I put it out there.
Sure.
I think that's a good idea, I don't think there's anything against
To
that.
send it to the attorney.
I would say make a motion to approve the amendments pending, sign off and okay from the city attorney.
I'll second that.
Okay, moved and seconded. How do you vote? For Patrick?
Yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Morgan? Kava?
Yes.
Renzo?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you, Matt.
Thanks,
Okay,
Matt.
12, number 2204C, all this is waiving the $50 fee when we approve the ordinance for this.
Yes.
The next day, the state said you can't charge, so we just need a motion, we'll do all three readings, so we need a motion and second on this to waive the fee.
Motion that.
Okay, moved and second, so how do you vote? Patrick?
Yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Kava?
Yes.
Renzo?
Yes,
Okay, need a motion for the second reading,
so moved.
moved by Renzo.
Are we,
We did all three.
We're waiving this
We
reading.
just waiving,
Second.
second by Kava, how you vote? Patrick?
yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Kava?
Yes.
Renzo?
Yes,
Need a motion to waive the third and final reading,
I'll move it.
Move.
moved by Dolly,
Okay.
second by
Second.
Kava. How do you vote? For Patrick?
Yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Morgan? Kava?
Yes.
Renzo?
yes.
Okay.
I do have a question. Are we still getting the tags?
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah,
Do you have them now?
yeah, we actually, I think they're going to now.
You showed me a picture of it. You have them? I can pick
I
them
haven't received them.
up.
So they are going to.
Oh, okay. 12, 13, ordinance number 2205C, amending section of the zoning supplement district regulations. The fence, so like